So this is how I refresh my braids. I've had these in for about a month. I've been swimming in the sea. I went to Portugal, and then I've been swimming here in Nice. So saltwater, all of that has kind of like made my braids age a lot faster than it should have. So I'm not ready to take them out, but I got things to do. And refreshing, I did mostly the front row and then the rows where my parts are going to be. And so I will show you just one of the braids. I've obviously done most of it. I really only have this braid left and then another one that I already have parted here. I'm not too concerned with parting neatly. The braids are older, so we're not doing all that. So the only things I really need are my hair. I've already kind of like pre-parted. This is the feed-in hair that I will use. And then my old hair that I'll just use to actually braid the construction of the braid to feed it into. Find some hair jam. Here, okay. So this is one of the braids that I've already taken out. So put a little bit of gel in that. And then what I do is I already have a strand that I'm going to feed into the braid ready for me to essentially just like grab it because the braid is going to like start. So then I just essentially braid it. Usually I kind of break it up already into 3 equal parts. So that'll be easier to show you, but because I know how to do hair, this step I can just skip. But essentially you can just break it apart so that you have even parts and do that, but it's just easier for me to hold if I just go in, just braid that. I'll usually do 1 to 2, I'll do this 2 times around, and then the hair I feed into it. This part can get hard on camera. Okay, so I divide it up into 2 of the strands and then I'll split it up once it's in the braid. So then braid it in, braid it in. So now I have 3 parts, 2 of which have the extensions, 1 does not. So I'll just borrow a little bit from both just to even things out so that my braid feels even as it's going down. I want to go ahead and add a piece because I want it hanging closer to the scalp. And what I do is I just braid it in, I pull this out, and essentially the bottom of the hair will end up being part of this little group, if you can see it. And then just braid it in. And then I will repeat that until the end. So because this is the top of the head, I'll probably add I think 5 to 6 pieces. So once I go down a little bit, add another piece, and then just do that till the end, and then I will braid the bottom of the braid with more hair. So the reason I'm not worried about the length of the hair I use is because as I add more hair, it will just keep the braid going. So for example, this is the piece that I'm adding. I will leave a little more hanging so that it's part of the braid down here. And then the part that will hang loose, I'll put up top. So then, as you can see now, it's kind of thickened this a bit. So it just kind of elongates the braid as it goes down. That way, I'm not worried about running out of hair and my braid becoming thin. And then if you add too much hair, then it also gets bulky. Okay, so I'm nearing the end of the braid, but obviously you can see it's still short. So I'm going to take another piece like I did at the beginning and then just add it to my braid, and it will just hang loose. Oops, went too fast. I get in the groove. So then this is what it looks like, and then I'm going to take a piece. You want it to be thin so it doesn't unravel a bit. And this is what I tie to keep the braid from unraveling, because I'm hoping to keep these in for another like 3 weeks or so. I think I'll do 1 more. So I did 3 little loops. And these can easily be combed out. Wide wig hair is so nice because you can literally reuse it. Like I'm reusing the hair I took out to create the braid. It's nice. Now that I have finished the braids, front I did a little bit in the back and some in the peripheral just so that I can put my hair up and it still looks together. You can tell the textures are different. This just looks really like old and dried, and then the new braids just really just need some water and some mousse. So I tend to do this separately. So I will detangle the back middle part separate, and then I will blend it all in. I use these products for that. This is a daily hydration leave-in treatment that I usually use on my hair, a leave-in conditioner. This I will use at the end. It's just like an oil mist to kind of bring the shine out, and then obviously mousse, and you can't go anywhere without the water. And then I use a detangling brush, but sometimes if it doesn't work, I will try and use this paddle brush. So I'm just going to separate these into 4 different parts so it's easier to work through. Start with the water. You almost have to like drench it to where you might even need a towel. And before I go in with the brush, I go ahead and add the leave-in conditioner and the hydration just so that it can just feel a little soft while I brush through it. That smells so good. I did the rest off camera, and this is already what it looks like. And all I did was I used the water bottle, the 2 leave-in conditioner options, and I'm going to now wet this part, and then I will do the rest at the same time since I need to put mousse all over and then the shine. So yeah. Then I go in with the Shine and Hold Mist Spray just to give it some shine all over. I'll also kind of flip my hair over. Oops. My bad. Scrunch it a little. Voila. New braids was this? What do we think?